Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Jenny Montgomery. There's a big push in Georgia to improve reading rates. In the last couple of months, Georgia's new literacy coach toured the state to help students become better learners. Archit Seshadri reports.
New data shows more than a third of Georgia's third graders are reading below grade level. That's why the Georgia Council on Literacy is creating a new plan to help children develop an early interest in reading, especially between the ages of kindergarten through third grade.
The Literacy Council is put in place by Senate Bill 211 to implement helping literacy improvement across the state of Georgia. So along with the Early Literacy Act, the Literacy Council is there to make recommendations and to research what improvements can be done to ensure that every child becomes a reader and that our teachers are prepared and our communities are supported for literacy.
The Georgia Council on Literacy is sponsoring the Georgia Reads program, where communities and cities across Georgia can apply for a $25,000 stipend to improve literacy in their communities, and then they'll take those best practices and share that with other communities here in the Peach State. The council hopes to get more funds from state lawmakers next year to hire extra literacy coaches to train more teachers.
Well, one really important piece that we have implemented right now is all of our K through 3 teachers are screening their students. And what screening means is that they're really looking at how are the students performing when it comes to reading and what areas do they need support in. So our teachers have all been trained not just in the right education of how to teach reading, but also in looking at their student data and really being able to zero in and support students that need help.
The council will review things like curriculum and teaching strategies to improve Georgia's rates, also helping low-income families, minority families, and students with dyslexia. Reporting in Atlanta, Archit Seshadri, Atlanta Bureau Chief.
RISE Augusta is on the ground working, growing, and helping children to succeed. RISE stands for Realize Individual Student Success Every Day, and leaders there believe education is a major key to lifting people out of poverty to embrace the 21st century. Laurie Cook is the executive director of RISE Augusta. And Laurie, it's great to have you with us again. And we're also joined by Angela Prince, who is the director of the Strive program. And Angela, we're going to talk about Strive in just a minute. But Laurie, I wanted to start with literacy because we've just been learning about that. And that is, of course, such a primary focus for you. And it is so related to poverty. Children growing up in poverty, they start school at a disadvantage.
That's exactly right. And a lot of them don't ever catch up without intervention or remediation. In our program, we serve primarily in Richmond County. We do have an after-school program that reaches out further. But in our local schools, about 80%, if not more, of the children attending Richmond County schools are poverty kids. And what comes with poverty are a lot of other issues. So a lot of them have learning deficits, but also they may not have enough food in the home. There might be clothing, there may be school supplies. So we try to encompass that in a wraparound support. But we, children in our program, in each school that we're in, we serve about 100 students, and all of those children are behind grade level reading. They don't have learning disabilities though. Okay. So for whatever reason, they're behind grade level reading. And so our goal is for our tutors to work with them in small groups, 3 or less, a lot of times one-on-one, to get them caught up. So normally we serve the same children all year long. We meet them twice a week for about an hour each, and the progress that they make is tremendous. Usually about 85% of the kids in a RISE program improve their literacy rates, their reading rates. That's not to say they're on grade level, because children will come to us in the 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, 2 or 3 grade levels behind. So it takes a while to catch up. But what you said earlier, a lot of these children in poverty homes, they start out at a deficit. So they don't know as many words as you and I. The way their parents interact with them may be very different. They don't engage what we call language nutrition.
Right. I mean, it's what I see right now with my little grandson who's 5 months old. I read to him every day. I mean, I always read to him. And when I'm not doing that, I mean, I'm constantly talking to him. And if I'm just walking around, I'm just talking about what I'm doing, because I understand that they need words. That's just how they learn language. Now, Angela, you are in a situation where you're working with older people, 17 to 22, but you have a great program in Strive that is going to help them get into the workforce in an area where they may be interested and be able to be engaged. Right. How do you do that through Strive?
So we do take students ages 17 to 22, 24. So there's a lot of them that are just sitting at home, not knowing what the next steps are.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's through no fault of their own, of course, and they just need a little help.
Right.
So I've had students come to me just working at like a fast food restaurant, wanting to go to school, but they don't know how to fill out the financial aid form.
Yeah.
So I'll walk them through the financial aid form because they don't know that they can afford to go to college because of grants. So they'll get them enrolled in college and they're on their way. I've had a couple of nursing students in that sort of scenario. I had a young man that was wanted to go into the police force. And he actually tried out for the police force and he couldn't get in. So he came to me and he was like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, well, let's look for adjacent jobs that you may be, you know, interested in, right? So we did a career profile on him. His resume really needed an overhaul. That was one reason why he was not getting hired. Well, let me share this really quick. On his resume, he actually put down that he had transportation issues. And I was like, I was like, do you have transportation issues now? And he was like, no. And I was like, well, we can remove that. He was like, yeah, because I got a truck now and I can drive. And I was like, well, let's take that off your resume. So we fixed his resume. We do have partners in Augusta. So I went through a security guard company. And I was like, that's an adjacent career. So we got him all spruced up for the interview, got him ready for the questions, and he got the job. And they liked him so much that in about 6 months, they're going to make him an armed guard. Yeah. And then I'm like, you work that job for about a year or two and try out for the academy again. I'm sure you'll have a better chance of getting in.
That must make you feel really great to help people find their path.
Yes.
And Laurie, I know for you, there has to be like light bulb moments when you see that a child is starting to make those connections and starting to get it. Your work complements each other so much. Yeah. I love that. Do you take volunteers, that sort of thing?
Oh, we love to have volunteers. So, and there's a lot of different capacities for a volunteer. So you can volunteer to read to a classroom. Yeah. And we have plenty of classrooms that love to have volunteers come in and read. And we'll make all the arrangements. So all you have to do is show up. Okay. We'll give you the book and away you go. And you'll be a hero a hero for the day, because the kids absolutely love having volunteers. We also need volunteers in our after-school tutoring program at the Hub. We normally assign a volunteer to a student, and you would actually work with the same student every time that you came in. It's usually after school, so between the hours of 3 and 6, and you'd work with that same little person. They need consistency, and they really respond to that, and you'll bond with them.
I love it. I love it. Well, Laurie and Angela, I wish we had more time. It's such a great thing going on at the Hub in Augusta. If you want more information about Strive or RISE Augusta, from volunteering to signing up for after-school help, all you need to do is go to their website. It's riseaugusta.org, or give them a call. The number there is 706-550-7716. That's 7716.